We say good morning to you. Welcome. We're live at Freddys in North Johnson City on this rainy Monday, October the 23rd, 2017. Thanks for being with us again. And it's going to be a great day. Got lots to talk about, a lot of sports. We got David Strickland stopping by, the soccer coach for the Science Hill Lady Hilltoppers. They are heading off to the state soccer tournament this week. We'll talk to him. Also, we're going to be joined by Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter out of Northern Virginia. Dave Angie joins us. Again, Dave will be with us. Of course, he works for the News and Neighbor, but he's going to be with us coming up to talk a little sports and see what happened to his beloved Michigan Wolverines. Man, they took one, didn't they? Woo, they took a butt whooping by the Penn State Nittany Lions. It's funny because in that game, when the Nittany Lions knew they had the game, why was my hat tilted? I feel like there we go. Good grief. Anyway, the Penn State fans, towards the end of the game, they started chanting, "We want Bama." Woo, that's pretty strong there. So anyway, we'll talk more about that in college football. The new top 25s out in college football. All that again going on here as we're live at Freddys in North Johnson City, joined by, again, Mike Hedrick, NASCAR fans reporter, Dave Angie, Daniel Monjay from Milligan College, gets the very latest of what's going on in the land of the Buffaloes. And also we're going to be joined, as we said, by Coach David Strickland from the Science Hill girls soccer team that's heading off the state tournament this week. They punched their ticket to the big show, which is very, very exciting. So we'll be talking to him coming up here in just a little while as well. So live again, as we are. Hope you're having a great Monday. Pouring down the rain here in the Tri-Cities, but that's okay. So because we need the rain, obviously. And so we dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We do this each and every day. Have my fingers in his belt loops. And today's out of the book of Romans chapter 8, 27 and 28. It says, "Love me, and I will see to it that all things work together for your good." How about that? That's a challenge. That's a promise. "For I know the mind of my spirit. I am constantly interceding for you according to my will." So he's always going to bat for us with the Father. "Love me, and I will see to it that all things work together for your good." Where is the bell? Is the bell here today? The bell is here. Hit it. That's awesome. "Love me, and I will see to it that all things work together for your good. For I know the mind of my spirit. I am constantly interceding for you according to my will." Great stuff. So anyway, that's what's going on. We'll take our first break. Coming right back. We'll jump in and go. I don't know which way we go. We don't talk about the NFL here on this show anymore. We'll give you who won yesterday. We will tell you Jason Witten added more numbers to him. We'll brag on Jason Witten because he's worthy of bragging on. He's a class act. We'll tell you how he did yesterday for the Cowboys blowout win. But after that, we'll give you the scores. And tonight we got the Redskins in Philadelphia. And that's all you're going to get from me because they don't deserve my time. If they can't stand at attention for the national anthem, they sure as heck don't need me giving me airtime. And I won't. And I'm not. And as Forrest Gump says, that's all I'm going to say about that. Quick break. We'll take a look, rather. We'll check in with the NFL, give you the winners. And we've got college football. We've got the National Hockey League, the Predators on the ice 3 times this week. Let's see, high school football final week of the regular season here in Northeast Tennessee. Lots going on. It's a great time of the year. College football, of course, the high school football. And so a lot of transition going on. Of course, the World Series starts tomorrow night. Huge. I've got a story about the tickets. If you want to go watch the World Series at Dodger Stadium, these first 2 games, you best be going to the bank getting a loan, I think, because tickets are out of sight for the first 2 games of the World Series at Dodger Stadium. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Freddys at North Johnson City. Show number 619. They said it wouldn't work. Show number 16. It will work because the Lord's running the show. This is his show. And if he wants it to work, it'll work. Told my little people yesterday before I go to the break. So is it going to rain, turn cold? I said, yeah, by Wednesday. But you know what? If the Lord wants it to snow, he can make it snow. Where are we? Let's use his finger. He can make it snow just like that. He can drop the temperature immediately. Did he not go out on the water in the middle of what they said, hurricanes, force winds, and said, "Peace, be still," and it stopped instantly? Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live again at Freddys, North Johnson City. We're talking sports on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard. brings the magic.
Truck Month continues at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City with unbelievable savings on a selection of over 500 new Chevys to choose from. 17 Silverado Crew Cab All-Star, $11,000 off MSRP. 18 Equinox, $6,000 off MSRP. 18 Trax, $4,500 off MSRP. 23% off 17 Cruisin' Malibu. 25% off 17 Sonic and Spark LS. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back live with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live here at Freddys in North Johnson City. We tell you about something that you can do really cool for your organization. It's called the Give Back Fundraiser. All you got to do is come in here and let them know that you would like to do a fundraiser. And so here's how it works. Let's see. It says, let's see here. Raise money for your group through Freddys Give Back Fundraiser. Give Back groups receiving a donation of 15% of the sales they bring to the designated store during predetermined hours. All you got to do is fill out this form, spread the word, come eat at Freddys, and get a portion of the sales. They do the rest. I've been in several times this summer. We have groups come in, church groups, missionary groups, ball teams, cheerleading groups, whomever that needed some extra money. It's very easy to do. Who's eligible? Public, private, school clubs and organizations, college campus groups, parent-teacher associations, booster clubs, sports teams, student councils, churches, religious groups, Girls and Boy Scouts, any other charitable organization. It's really cool because you come in here and all they got to do is come in and eat, and you hand them little vouchers. They walk through the door, and Freddys does the rest. And I know we'll have Randall coming up here in just a few minutes, the store manager, but there are some organizations in a 4-hour night come out here $700, $800, $900. So, and they don't do any work. Freddie does all the work, and you get to come in and enjoy the great food. There it is. It's called a Give Back Fundraiser by Freddys Steak Burgers. Awesome. Then right now, if you're a connoisseur of pumpkin, I promise you this will set you free right here. This is the pumpkin pie concrete, and I'm telling you, it is dynamite. Fresh and creamy frozen custard blended with a whole slice of rich pumpkin pie crust, and all topped with whipped cream and sprinkled with cinnamon. Where's the bell? I'm telling you, I'm over here like a hog in a trough to eat this right here now. Good, good stuff. Again, this is the Freddys Pumpkin Pie Concrete. It'll set you free. About 5 minutes. Randall says, when do I get to be on? It's about 5 minutes. I love it. This guy's class act. There you go. Freddys, he'll be here in just a minute to tell you about that and more. He is the store manager. And so let's run down and get this over with because we're not going to give much airtime. And, of course, hello, Chris Payne. Chris is somewhere laughing at me right now. All right, here we go. Here's your winners from it because I got to put these old glasses on. Here's our winners from yesterday. Winner. Ain't no chicken dinner at the NFL. More problems on the field. You got more guys. Let's see, the guy from the Steelers went off, and his teammates saying got to get rid of him, and been some cheap shots yesterday. I mean, it's anyway. Here we go. Winners: Bears, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Saints, Rams, Buffalo, Titans, Dolphins, Cowboys. We'll talk about them in a moment. Chargers, Steelers, Seattle, Patriots. Detroit, Houston end of the week off. Tonight, Monday Night Football, Redskins at Philadelphia. Jason Witten continues to get her done. 18-yard touchdown pass from Dak Prescott in the second quarter. Again, let's give you the numbers for Jason Witten with that touchdown and receiving it. Witten 4 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown, an 18-yard strike from Dak Prescott in the second quarter. Cowboys win big, 40-10, and so there you go. I had a chance to meet him last Friday a week ago. Coolest thing in the world. I got to tell you a story about Jason Witten. I'm back in this back area where the Cyclones go at halftime. It's not quite inside the locker room because the locker room's not big enough. So hopefully someday Elizabeth will build a field house that will accommodate this growing football team. Anyway, be that as it may, halftime 2 weeks ago against Greenville, I go back in there. It's kind of dark lit back where these guys sit. They sit outside in this little, I don't know, alcove, kind of back in this little area. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's outside. Anyway, it's dimly lit. I'm standing talking to Cujo, Cameron Coleman, one of the linemen for the Cyclones, and walking up, just reached out and said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Jason Witten." Oh, that's pretty cool, because guys I'm around NASCAR, you have to go beg them to get them to talk to you sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Some of the NASCAR drivers and some of the dignitaries, some of the stars, if you will. This guy walks up and says, "Hey, I'm Jason Witten." We stood there and talked about the national anthem. We talked about Ezekiel Elliott, and it's pretty cool stuff what he was telling me. And so, anyway, why am I telling you that? I'm not trying to drop names, but just he's a class act now. I'm telling you, the guy came in on his off week, didn't tell his brother, Sean, of course, and Ryan, his older brother, who coaches at Duggar and Elizabeth, and just showed up and support. He said, I got a week off. I wanted to come home. How about that? Is that cool? He wanted to come home and see his grandfather, Dave Ryder, and his brothers and his family. Neat stuff. So hit the bell. Jason Witten's top shelf in my book. So if he never catches another pass, he's pretty class act, folks. Again, he wanted to come back home. That's awesome. Now, one more totally unrelated sports thing. Saturday after our shindig at the church, took the little people, I've never been there, went up to, at the urging of our pastor, jumped in the car and took a drive up Lynn Valley, hope I'm saying it right, Shady Valley. Anyway, we ended up at Wilbur Dam and Watauga Dam. Had never been there ever in my life. What a beautiful, beautiful place. As I sent some pictures to some folks after taking some shots, after you go up to Watauga Dam and just sit up in this little overlook area and look out over the water and the mountains, you cannot say there's not a God. I mean, for what he's just created as one little snapshot up in Watauga Dam in Carter County, beautiful. So anyway, we were there for a little while Saturday, had a big time. So that's a totally unrelated sports topic, but man's got to do what a man's got to do. And I got to tell you when I think things are cool. National Hockey League, let's run this down real quick. The Predators this week, where are they skating? Tomorrow night they're home against the Calgary Flames. Friday night they're in Chicago to skate against Tommy Weinman's Blackhawks. By the way, we'll be at his place tomorrow. We'll be at Bracken Paving tomorrow for the show. Then on Saturday, back in Nashville, skating against the New York Islanders to wrap up the month of October. Can you believe October's over? We got 62 days to Christmas. Lawsy mercy. So anyway, that's what's going on there. And that's the very latest for the Predators. Did you see, let me give you this quick story. I love it. When kids threw things in kindergarten, they threw their passies, they got put in the corner, did they not? Stand on the bad line. So I'm done with these guys too. These guys are totally out of control. Not all, but most of the NBA. Saturday night, Golden State's in Memphis on Saturday, playing the Grizzlies. Got beat. They don't like getting beat. They can't take losing. Let me give you a quick news flash. You can't win every game. I don't care what sport you're in, and you're not going to be on the top always. There are times you're going to cycle down and cycle back up. It's just that simple. So anyway, the Warriors lose. They fell to 1-2 after the game on Saturday to the Grizzlies. As time was winding down to the ball game, Steph Curry was irate after he thought the referee missed the fouls. He drove to the basket for a layup. Let his frustrations be known. By throwing his mouthpiece at the official. You got to be kidding me. He got thrown out of the game he should have. Threw his mouthpiece at the official. Well, Tom, he was in the heat of the moment. Really? Okay. Heat of the moment. I go back to Jason Witten. Go back to anybody that's got some class. And this guy's, everybody says he's the greatest ever. Well, that's a joke. Michael Jordan's the greatest ever. And then Larry Bird, in my humble opinion. And Bill Russell's right there, too. But anyway, this guy's not the greatest ever. He's a heck of a ball player. I'll give him that. He's a tremendous talent. But he threw his mouthpiece at the official and got tossed. Well, it gets better because then Kevin Durant got mad because Steph Curry got thrown out, and Kevin threw his mouthpiece. Kevin threw a little hissy fit, and he got thrown out. So, as I said, when you're in daycare and kindergarten and you throw your passy, you got to stand on the bad line. So Steph Curry threw his mouthpiece at the official and got thrown out, as he should have. God. Lordy have mercy. Lord help us. And then Kevin Durant got mad because his teammate got thrown out, so he threw a little hissy fit and he got tossed. And whoop-de-doo, who cares? I don't. I just want to tell you that consequences for your choices, folks. Just that simple. I come into this every day on this show, and I get jacked up because people aren't kneeling for the national anthem. People are throwing their mouthpieces. And we wonder why our kids looking up these alleged heroes while they're doing the same thing. So, anyway, it's a joke, but that's all right. We're here. We're going to take a quick break because my man is in the house. He's got to talk about the, what is it, the pumpkin pie concrete. I'm in here about 4 times a week getting them. It'll set you free. My man is in the house. He's going to talk about Freddys next. Bottom of the hour, we got David Strickland coming. He's going to join us again from Science Hill Girls Soccer. Also coming up, we got Daniel Monjay from Milligan College going to join us and bringing a couple of coaches to talk Milligan sports. Also, we got a little bit later on, live from Northern Virginia by phone, Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. We'll let you know who's in. NASCAR moving on to nearby Martinsville, the track they call the Paperclip because of its design. And so we're here at Freddys, and he's here with us, our store manager. He joins us next year on show number 619 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
We're back live again. Oh, I'm not in. Let's get him on. I'm not Randall Jenkins, which could be because he's a good guy, but let's get him on and bam, let's see. Nope, still don't have him, but there he is. Look at that smiling face, that handsome devil, as his wife says. So we're here live again at Freddys in North Johnson City. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
All right, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for letting me come over and hang out. I love coming to this place. I'm here 3 or 4 times a week eating as a consumer, so I can give you a first-hand testimony about the product. It is very, very good. And for folks out there that may not have a clue, Freddys is a national chain. We've got a couple here in the Tri-Cities, and so give folks a quick overview about Freddys and what's it all about.
Well, it's great. How about that for one word? We've got steak burgers here. We got frozen custard. It's cooked to order. We don't, just let me push that a little bit. That we never start cooking it before you order it, and you can't beat that. And our fresh, creamy, frozen custard is to die for. It's the taste that brings you back, as what they say. And we got a special going on right now. It's the pumpkin pie concrete. We take a full slice of pumpkin pie, blend it into our frozen custard, and you just can't beat it. Just can't beat it.
No, it'll set you free.
Yeah,
I promise you it'll set you free.
That's it.
It says fresh and creamy frozen custard blended with a whole slice of rich pumpkin pie, crust and all. Yeah. Topped with whipped cream and sprinkled with cinnamon. There it is, pumpkin pie concrete. What sizes can you get that?
You can get it in a mini, regular, or large. I would suggest a large on that because it's pretty good.
Oh,
so.
And then the special sandwich. Tell me about the jalapeno pepper jack steak burger going on right now.
Yeah, so we got you got our pepper jack cheese on it, jalapenos, and we've got our in-house spicy fry sauce that we put on it. You just get, and it's topped with 2 onion rings.
There you go.
It's on a potato bun, so it's been a really big seller. We've had it for the past couple of weeks, and it's really done great. So, and you can't finish it off with some fries, the shoestring fries that we got with our famous seasoning. You just can't beat it. Can't beat it.
When yep, he's right. When I lined up the guests for today's show, they said, Freddys? I said, yeah. I said, we're there. That's all they said. We're there. So they get it. They understand. All my guests said, you're going to be at Freddys? I said, yeah, get to eat lunch. He said, we're there. Yeah. So tell me again, we're talking to our buddy Randall Jenkins, the store manager here at Freddys in North Johnson City. You got combos, the Chicago Dog Freddy style. Tell me about that one.
The Chicago Dog. Well, it's a 100% beef all hot dog. You got to start out with a good product there, and 100% all beef hot dog with their nice buttery buns and their big buns on it. You got the sports peppers on it, and the celery salt, and tomatoes and pickles, and relish and mustard. It's a mouthful, but it is really a good. And we have people from Chicago all the time come in and just order that. I actually talked to a guy the other day. He said he's never ate a burger here because he can't get past the Chicago Dog. I said, well, floats his boat, and it's good.
Trips your trigger. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, number 6 is the double steak burger, California style. Tell me about that.
All right, so it's made a little bit upside down. Yeah, you can say like on our bottom bun. On the bottom bun is our Freddys sauce, which is like a sweet Thousand Island. Then lettuce and tomato, and then a nice double cheese patty with a full slice of onion, and then topped off with the bun.
There's my man Daniel Monjay is going to be here at Milligan College. Now, you go ahead and order. This is on me. All right, but you go ahead and make. They know that.
Said he's going to order one of everything.
Yeah, one of everything. So again, you got the original double. Monjay's going to be with us here in a minute from Milligan College. We've got the original double patty melt, the bacon and cheese double steak burger, the grilled chicken breast sandwich. Something I come in and get all the time is the grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Double up the cheese.
The bacon tomato grilled cheese sandwich. It's got 4 slices of bacon on it, American and Swiss on it, tomato. I mean, it's a good seller. And you know, I always let people know that we do have lettuce wraps if you have a gluten allergy, so you can go that route with the lettuce wraps.
Going again to our buddy Randall Jenkins, the store manager at Freddys. We're live here at Freddys in North Johnson City. Coming up, we're going to talk NASCAR. We got the drivers are moving into the next round. They're racing this weekend in Martinsville, the round of 8. We've also got college football. We got one of the coaches. Pressure is on. One of the coaches, as he was going off the field, called out a fan. The fan was giving him a hard time. He says, well, come on down here if you want some of this. And we'll tell you who that was. It's pretty interesting. So these college football coaches are under a tremendous amount of pressure, particularly ones supposed to be winning and they're not. So it's going to be interesting. So we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Also, we got some Major League Baseball. The World Series starts tomorrow night, Game 1 at Dodger Stadium between the Astros and the Dodgers. Here's a success story. If you think you can't do something and somebody tells you can't, Jose Altuve, guy's 5'6". He's a candidate for the MVP award. He's hammering home runs left and right. 5'6" and 164 pounds. So
that's amazing.
Oh yeah, they tell you can't now. Aaron Judge, the Yankees, I get that. 6'7", 260. Jose Altuve, Astros, 5'6", 164 pounds. So when somebody says you can't do something, look them in the eye and say, yes, I can. This show's living proof. We're at number 619. Tell me about the fundraiser. Let me do this right here.
We haven't talked about that yet. So the fundraisers, we do those Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and usually from 4 o'clock till about 9 o'clock. And all the sales, or 15% of the sales, goes to whatever group that might be doing it. And I see some groups come in here, and we do really good with them. And it's really good cause. Last month this month we done breast cancer awareness. We done some stuff with Susan G. Coleman, and it really went well. So we love to give back to the community. That's one of the biggest things for working with Freddys is I get to give back, and that's the best part in my mind.
Absolutely. And so you can come in and get more information. They've got these flyers at the counter. The Give Back fundraiser. I was in there one time, Unicoi County, somebody.
Bluegrass band. They came out here and they played, and actually we set them up about 4 weeks in a row, and they came out here and rocked this joint. So we set them up over there in the corner, and they had at it.
The place is packed.
Yeah, they packed it every night.
Yeah.
So.
And every time they were here, when I can hear a band show, I'm just going to sit and listen to a band show all day long. They were sitting right here in the corner and put on a show, and that was awesome. So if you're interested in that, to Give Back fundraiser. And then last before I let you go, catering. Tell me about the catering.
Yeah, catering. We can do a Sunday bar. We can do our burgers. The Sunday bars, I'm doing one today for somebody. We usually do 5 toppings of your choice, and vanilla and custard would come out and serve it to whatever group that you might have, whether it be a doctor's office or a holiday party or just a get together at someone's house. It's just a great thing, and you can do 5 toppings: vanilla, chocolate, and rich creamy custard. Can't really beat it.
So get into the custard. We'll talk about that next time you get to come back a little bit later in the show. But they've got the signature turtle, the PBC&B, which is Reese's peanut butter cup and banana. Unbelievable. Dirt and worms, a Hawaiian delight, chocolate brownie delight. We'll talk about his shakes and his malts and his custard coming up next time you come in here. So, but you'll be here in a little while. You come back again, won't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Sounds great.
Oh, I love coming over here. This guy's awesome. Give me some. I'm already getting hungry. You're talking about that, and I got a grilled cheese. Got my name written all over it, I think. So,
absolutely.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll be joined by Coach David Strickland, the Scienceville girls soccer coach. They're going to the state tournament. I love it. Got some more. Going to go down and bring home the brass ring. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live at Freddys in North Johnson City. Show number 619 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We are back live. We're at Freddys in North Johnson City. Ooh, you got to try the pumpkin pie concrete. You got to. Look here. Check this out. This is fresh and creamy frozen custard blended with a whole slice of rich pumpkin pie, crushed and all, topped with whipped cream and sprinkled with cinnamon. I promise you it will set you free. Woohoo! I love it. So this guy's, I'm so excited when you get to, whether they don't win anything down in Murfreesboro, which is not the goal, they're champions because they get a chance to go. They've earned the right. The girls soccer team in Scienceville with us is Coach Strickland. And Coach, give me your track record. How many times you taken girls down to the state tournament?
They've not been there since 2005.
So this is the first trip with you taking them down?
Yes.
I thought you went 2 years ago. That's even more impressive. Taking them to the big dance. So you had the big game on Saturday. We talked with you on Friday. So tell us how things went Saturday. You had to win that when you get there, and you did. Tell us about it.
It was a very good game. It was a completely different game than Thursday night against Bearden. Knox Powell was a little more of a direct, scrappy team. We got a goal about 18 minutes in, which it was well deserved. I mean, as far as the run of play, and they get one in the second half, and our girls just responded within 2 minutes and put another one in. Maren Gilmore, she scored 2 big goals for us that night, and I mean, they just saw it out with their fight and their desire to win. It's fun, and it's fun to see a group of girls that we started in July with a 4-day camp at 97 degrees to be here at this point where they've worked their socks off, and we're 3 games away from winning it all.
AAA going to the state tournament. Who else is in the tournament now? Who did you draw for the first round?
Franklin.
Mm-hmm. So tell us who else is in there besides Science Hill and Franklin.
Siegel, Oakland, Houston, Bearden. I'm not sure of the other ones that are in.
The one you're concerned about is Franklin, so give us a scouting report. They're all good, they wouldn't be there, so what's the story on Franklin?
They're all good at this report in the Nashville area. They rank them as probably the best team in the Nashville area. They've got a history of good teams. Our concern is going to be continuing to play the game that we play and press it upon them. As far as that's where our success is coming from. It's at this age, it's very difficult for players to handle a lot of pressure and making big mistakes high up the fields where we tend to press teams into trouble and we get our goals out of.
We're talking again to Coach Strickland. So tell me about the seniors. These girls, we want to salute them as much as anybody because they've really busted it, taking this program to the level where now we're going to the state tournament for the first time since 2005, which is 12 years ago, which means as seniors they were in first grade, I guess, or kindergarten. So we're going now to the big show, and there's one of my heroes, Don Raines. How you doing, sir? I just saw my other hero last week out of the fields, Ken Manus. So I could die and go to heaven now. I've seen the two of the best. So anyway, you got seniors going to the state tournament.
Mm-hmm. We have 4 of them.
Tell us who those young ladies are.
Abby Knox, who's been with me, from the beginning. This is my 3rd year with the program. And with Abby and Emma Heck, Tess Morozic, she transferred in 2 years ago. And then Maren Gilmer was a transfer this year as a senior in. Abby and Emma and Tess have gone 2 years. We've gone to the round of 16 and we've gotten put out there. So now we're into the round of 8, and it's very special to them knowing that this is it's coming to an end. As we talk, they have a chance to make history because Science Hill has never won the state championship, and they could be the group that does it.
And it's not easy to get there. Obviously, you've beaten some good teams all along the way in the regular season, certainly the district, a regional, and then the sectional. So just to get there, but of course, some schools, and I know you well enough, some coaches say, let's just get there. You want to do it more than that. You want to win it. So you've got them set up, and the goal is to come out of there with the championship, but it's not easy to get there, obviously.
It's not easy at all, and all season, we talk about it. It takes 24 games to win it all. And we've had this up on the board. Every game we get closer, they can wipe off the next game. So today when we go to training, it still shows 4 on the board, and one of them gets to wipe it off to show 3, to give them that symbolism of our goal is all the way number 1. It's not to just be at this point. It's to continue going forward.
I was just telling the guy the other day, I was reading a book about John Wooden. I have the utmost respect for the guy, but they won 10 straight college basketball championships, which I don't think will ever be duplicated. But to do what you were talking about, every day after practice, they got a ladder, and each different day a guy took turns getting up and cutting down the nets as if they won the national championship. And I thought, well, why would he do that? And because it got ingrained in their brain that, we're just expected to do this. Because every day in practice, somebody got up and cut down the nets as if they won the national championship. You're using the dry erasing board saying, okay, 4, we're down to 3. And so you're kind of doing the same thing. Just say, look, we're supposed to be there. We're going to walk in a little swagger because we're Science Hill, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And every time you step on the field, it's about competing. It's competing to the next level and out-competing the next person, both mentally and physically competing.
So you play, the first game is Wednesday, is that correct?
Wednesday, 4 o'clock Central Time.
The 5 o'clock our time, right?
5 o'clock our time.
Yeah. And then what's the scenario after that? After you win that one, what happens?
Play Thursday. You turn around and play Thursday afternoon. Then you have a rest day on Friday. And Saturday at 1 o'clock Central Time would be the finals.
So, when I talk to all the different coaches of different sports, they say they can read their team. So in warm-ups or in practice today, or more importantly in warm-ups down there Wednesday, will you be able to read them? Can you tell whether they're ready to roll or they're a little tentative? Can you be able to read them?
Sure. And I don't I truly don't believe this group will be tentative. We talk a lot about there just can't be any distractions at that point. You know, anytime we walk into a game, you know, your friendships, your parents, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, all your relationships, they need to be in harmony with what you're doing so you can step on and perform. And you know, that's what we'll be looking for as far as when they step on Wednesday, and again on Thursday, and again on Saturday.
That's what we want to hear. Come back with a state championship. I know I'm in your corner pulling for you for sure, and I know a lot of other folks are. The Science Hill, Johnson City community has embraced this team too, haven't they?
They really have. You know, they've stepped up. They recognize the players when they're out. I mean, our athletic director Keith is very much plugged in and looked after us. We've been working all morning getting everything situated to go. So it's exciting. It's fun. We've had great support at these 3 matches this week at home because they were all big matches. And it was great to have the fans supporting the girls. And the girls recognize it. Sure. They love it when they hear the fans.
All do. Mm-hmm. We're only human.
They get you going.
Absolutely. Anytime you go someplace somebody cheers for you, or cheers or shows that take care and support you, all it does is just flip that switch, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Sure. We're all human. By the way, it's worth noting that this gentleman is heavily involved, to his credit, with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Science Hill. He's a big supporter of that. I know Steve McCauley and those folks work very, very hard, and so Coach is involved in the FCA. So anytime I can talk about the Lord, that's who runs this show, by the way. I say that all the time. You probably get tired of hearing it, but I don't care because it is his show, and so you're real big in the FCA. You understand it, right? You get it.
I understand the difference it makes in these kids' lives. You know, it gives them a base. It gives them hope. You know, when they've got all these pressures going on, there's the word of, you know, you are accepted. You are special. And we don't know every walk that goes on for these kids, and it's not okay in their world sometimes to share, and just to be able to know that they're cared for and that they're very much loved. And FCA does an unbelievable job.
You know, a lot of these kids, in closing, it sounds silly. A lot of them just want somebody to put their arm around them, or if it's a little guy to fuzz his head up, just, you know, or give him some taters. Just a lot of these kids just want to be told that somebody cares about them, because a lot of times they don't get, you know, an arm around them or a high five or a tater. Usually they're getting hammered with negativity, so a lot of them just want to be known. They just want to know somebody cares about them.
That's exactly right.
And the Lord cares about them because he died for them.
It creates hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really does.
I expect to call you Thursday morning, or even just for a few minutes by phone, and say, okay, Tom, we're into, at that point, it'd be the semifinals, right?
That would be the semifinals.
Semifinals on Thursday, championship on Saturday.
Correct.
So we're going to track you along the way, and we're expecting a phone call to you on Thursday morning because you have one on Wednesday night. So get yourself something good to eat. I appreciate you. I know you're a busy guy. His day job, he sells insurance and a lot of it. So for him to do a coach, Science Hill Girls Soccer, the Tri-Cities Otters, which is a whole other story. We'll let that go for another day. We're focusing on the girls soccer team in Science Hill. And then his day job, and FCA, busy guy, and a father, and a hubby. So to take his time to come over here, I appreciate that very much. So please get something to eat for lunch. You either get it here or get it to go, but just get it, would you please?
I will. And tell me about your hat.
We are. Well, we're not very good at we've been pretty good in the past. Last couple of years stunk it up. So this year we're 6-1. We are Marshall, the Thundering Herd. We are on top of the Eastern Division of the Conference USA. So we're having a pretty good year.
That's great.
Oh yeah. So as I said earlier, I bet I'm the only guy in Tennessee wearing a Marshall hat. That's my alma mater, and that's okay. So you got to have pride in where you went to school, right?
That's exactly right.
There you go. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, man.
This guy's awesome right here. Love him to death. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball. If you're getting ready to go to the World Series tomorrow night, Game 1 or Game 2 at Dodger Stadium, bring your billfold. Big bucks to go see the World Series. Then after that, we got my man Daniel Monjay is going to join us. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. And she's going to be on here too. We just made an executive decision you're going to be on. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live at Freddys in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. As Coach said, we are Marshall. We're 6-1, having a heck of a year, so we'll talk more about that coming up in a little while. We do our college football segment. Major League Baseball, if you're going to the World Series, here we go. The average price for the World Series matchup, average ticket price for Game 1 of the World Series tomorrow night in Los Angeles, $3,300 a ticket. Woo, lousy mercy. Average ticket price, the Astros in games 3, 4, and 5 will be right around $2,100 in Houston. So the Dodgers-Astros set to get underway tomorrow night in Los Angeles. Again, ticket prices for game 1, just basic price at nearly $1,000. There's about 4,000 tickets left. A cheap ticket for game 2 can be right around $850. Games 3 and 4 in Houston are projected to be about $850. This is walk up to the ticket office and ask for a ticket price, so there you go. If you're trying to get to the Game 7, check this out. If you're planning for a Game 7, now might be a smart time to consider purchasing tickets. The pre-series average for a final game, $5,500. This is off market. And the pregame low is right around $1,200. It may max out at $5,500 if you're trying to get to the World Series Game 7. So, needless to say, big bucks. So, tomorrow night, Game 1, to walk up and buy tickets right around $1,000. But again, off the I wouldn't say black market, but off market would be $3,300. Boston Red Sox have hired Houston Astro bench coach Alex Cora as their new manager, announcing that late last night, receiving a 3-year contract plus a club option for 2021. The 47th individual to manage the Red Sox. He's the third to do so since the club parted ways with Terry Francona after the 2011 season. Cora, who's 42 years old, spent parts of 14 seasons in the majors. And so Alex Cora is the new manager for the Boston Red Sox. And so although his big league experience is very plentiful, he's a relative newcomer to the bench. This season was his lone year as the Astros bench coach. He'd previously done broadcasting work while also serving as the general manager of the Puerto Rico national baseball team. And so, again, your new candidate will be, or not the new candidate, but the new manager. He is no longer a candidate. The new manager for the Boston Red Sox is Alex Cora. All right, Daniel Monjay comes up here in just a few minutes. Thought this was a cool story. Dodger fans want Vin Scully, who retired last year, the legendary announcer for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's soon to be 90 years old. He stepped away from the microphone after a great and long and illustrious career as the voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers. A lot of folks say, hey, we want him back to be behind the mic for the World Series. This is what he says. This is typical Vin Scully. Once again, in a society with a bunch of prima donnas and divas, this is what he says. He says, I'm not going to do it simply because I don't want to be a distraction to the baseball team and to the crowd and to the fans. Just let whoever's doing it do it. And I don't know who's doing it, but he said, let those folks continue to do it. I appreciate that. I'm humbled they would like for me to come back, but I don't want to be a distraction, and just let the folks doing the games do the games. He said, I've had a great run. Is that not class? That's class for, again, a guy by the name of Vin Scully, right? Before we get in here to talk to Milligan Sports, the Astros young lineup, Astros second baseman Jose Altuve is the headliner, putting together an MVP caliber season. And so the Dodgers use him. Also, you have Carlos Beltran, Josh Reddick. Also, you have George Springer, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa. These guys are some of the guys that you'll be looking at for the Houston Astros. Their young lineup versus the Dodgers clutch hitting. Of course, they had Corey Seager and some of the other guys, Justin Turner, Cody Bellinger. Some of the guys going to make it go for the Dodgers. Then the rotation battle. Dallas Keuchel, who's available out of the bullpen Saturday. They'll start him against Clayton Kershaw tomorrow night. What a matchup. Dallas Keuchel against Clayton Kershaw, Game 1 of the World Series. That is studs right there. Now, them boys can throw it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the rest of the rotation would be for the Astros, Justin Verlander, Game 2. He is undefeated, 9-0 as an Astro after coming over from the Tigers in August. Charlie Morton and Brad Peacock, also a good start for Houston. Obviously for the Dodgers, you've got Kershaw, Rich Hill, Yu Darvish, Alex Wood. Man, Darvish, case in point, allowing just 2 earned runs and 11 and a third innings. Hill's allowed 3 earned runs and 9 innings. So bullpen, huge for both teams. McCullers and Ken Giles will be coming out of the pen for the Astros. And so you look on the other side of the ledger for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they've got a great bullpen as well. Let's see, looks like my paper didn't print for some reason, and I apologize. But anyway, we'll talk more about it tomorrow. But again, a great matchup. 2 of the best are going to get after it. It'll be the Dodgers tomorrow night. Clayton Kershaw, Game 1 against Dallas Keuchel from Dodger Stadium. 1-2 in L.A., 3-4-5 in Houston, 6-7 if need be back at Dodger Stadium for the 2017 World Series. We'll take a quick break. Again, we'll come right back. We'll talk Milligan Sports. Again, we got my man coming up. Also, at the top of the hour, Mike Hedrick joins us live from Northern Virginia, giving us everything we need to know about NASCAR. Big weekend over the weekend. And so the stage is set. We got the round of 8. We had 10 drivers squeezed into 6 slots, and we've got them, including my guy, old Rowdy, Kyle Busch, into the round of 8. Yeah. We'll take a break. We'll be right back, and we will talk We'll talk Milligan sports with our buddy Daniel Monjay and his trusty sidekick, Joan Maxwell. Next, as we're live here at Freddys in North Johnson City on this rainy Monday, show number 619 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature Todd-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back live on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I'm not Daniel, and I'm certainly not Joan. You'll see why in a minute. Joan's, as my daddy'd say, she's cute as a speckled pup. So there you go. We'll have her on in a minute. But Daniel Monjay's on there, the Sports Information Director at Milligan College.
I'm not cute as a speckled pup?
No, you're not. No. Well, your mama thinks so. I just think you're a dear friend. So, and all the girls in Milligan think he is. Let me just go ahead and tell you. Right. Monjay's a chick magnet. He goes on campus. It's like bees on honey. It's like Elvis. Yep. He can't even walk across campus. Exactly. He has to drive. Joan has to drive him because he gets mobbed going from building to building. She just said it's true. There you go. What can I say? All right, let's talk before we get into Milligan College. Let's talk the World Series. Woo-hoo. Man, tomorrow night, what a way to start. Dallas Keuchel Astros, Clayton Kershaw Dodgers.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
You're talking about a hammer. Mm-hmm. And Altuve and Turner and all these great guys have made up the World Series going into it. True or false, do you think it's the best two? These are the
I
best
think
two teams
so,
there.
sure, absolutely. And like you said a minute ago, I think they proved it, especially with the Astros having to come back from down 3-2. And I'm glad they did. As much as I know Coach Rob, and there's plenty of Yankees fans out there, obviously, kind of glad they're not in it.
Yeah, the Yankees had a run, though. I mean, they first off, they eliminated a pretty good Twins team in the wild card game. Then they get the Indians and beat them, come from behind to beat them, and then, of course, we know, where they got with the Astros, pushed them to the brink. The Dodgers eliminating a good Cubs team. So, so great matchup. Kershaw and Keuchel tomorrow night, Game 1 of the World Series. Who do you like? Who do you think's going to win it?
I'd like to see the Astros. I like Keuchel. I like Verlander. Altuve's a huge story, like you were talking a few minutes ago. Just his, he's kind of like that Steph Curry type. Kind of an underdog, kind of as a player, and he's obviously really, really good, done really, really well. So I'd like to see the Astros.
Joan, how tall are you? 5'6". There you go. You're going to meet Jose Altuve's 5'6", 164 pounds. The guy's just hammers him. When he gets a home run, I mean, he crushes him for a guy 5'6".
Yep.
And, of course, having interviewed George Foster a couple of years ago with the Reds, a long time ago, but anyway, he said your arm strength and your thighs is what does it. He said he doesn't care if you're 6'8", 5'8", 6'2". He said if you got the Papa arms, and Altuve does, or the thighs, you can hammer a home run. So 5'6". Again, Astros, Dodgers tomorrow night. Milligan College Sports, the Buffaloes, the orange and black. What's going on? Busy time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of getting to that transition season where we've got fall sports wrapping up and winter sports starting up. We've had a really good fall so far. The women's soccer team's done really well. They're right now 4th place in the conference. I think still has a chance to win the conference, which would give them an automatic berth to national championship. Or if they don't win the conference, I think for the most part, I think they've got a top 4 spot pretty much locked in. They've got 2 games left, finish out this season on Saturday, but then the conference tournaments after that, so that would give them another chance to get to the national tournament if they don't win the conference.
I want to say hello to some folks. I want to say hello to Dwayne West up in West Virginia. Also, Renee McNeil here in the Tri-Cities. Londa Whittington, Andy Dietrich. Thank you, folks. Freddys Frozen Custard Steak Burgers. We shared it out on their Facebook page. Thank you very, very much. What'd you have for lunch, by the way?
Burger. It was amazing.
Good stuff?
Yeah.
And
it's really good.
And you've got a Joan stomped her foot and says, we want a pumpkin pie concrete, and so she got one. Whatever Joan wants, she gets. So we've got a pumpkin pie concrete waiting on her. Have you tried any of it, Joan? Okay, look here right here, folks. I'm telling you. There it is. That will flat set you free. Woo! Make a bulldog break his chain. Good stuff. So you can. Oh, she passed it on to you. All right. So basketball starts Saturday. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. The men start their season on Saturday. It's a little hard to believe. And then the women will be, I think, the Friday after that, next Friday. And then, I mean, it's hard to believe that, we'll be looking at it a week from now, 2 weeks from now, and they'll be regular season, full swing.
62 days to Christmas. It's hard to believe that, too. But basketball starts. Let's talk about the men's team and the Lady Buffs. What do you think for this year?
I'm excited just to see them play. It's kind of the same feeling every year of coming in and having new faces and just seeing how, we lost some players last year, but obviously we've got some new ones in, how they're going to fill in the gaps that we lost, how the team is going to gel, I guess. So it should just be fun to see.
Coming up, we'll talk NASCAR with Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. He'll join us in a few minutes by phone from Northern Virginia. Also, our college football segment, new top 25 for the first time in a long time. The Wolverines are not in the top 25. And of all the coaches in America you would think would be safe, suddenly Jim Harbaugh, there's some rumblings in Wolverine country. Of course, did you watch the game Saturday?
No.
The Tennessee football game?
No, I heard about it, but
I'm going to give you some stats. It's really pitiful. I mean, it's pitiful. This is a Division I Southeastern Conference football team for the game. How many yards do you think they have for the total game? Let's play a guessing game. Joan, get ready. I'm going to ask you too.
Well, I hope they had more than 100.
No. How many yards do you think they had? 74 yards as a football team. 10 yards passing. 10 yards passing.
That's not good.
Offense still has yet to score touchdowns since the UMass game. The touchdown was an interception ran back in by the linebacker. And of course, when he got to the end zone, he shot double birds up in the stands, got unsportsmanlike conduct, and then he lets him play the rest of the game. Okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you when I played, of course, I'm old school. If I'd have done first off, I'd have never thought to do that. But if I'd have shot the bird at somebody before my dad killed me, my coach would have killed me, or vice versa. I promise you, the coach I played for, he would have told me to run till I puked.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. You're going to act like that, you just take off running. I'll let you know when you stop, or you just turn in your uniform. This is the way it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, the guy scores a touchdown like Jones said, flips him the bird. The offense still has not scored a touchdown since UMass. I don't know how the guy's keeping his job unless they just figure, they're just going to tank it and ride it out and see what happens. Saturday they go to Lexington to battle Kentucky. That's not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. 74 yards in 46 plays.
That's not going to win you a lot of games.
74 yards in 46 plays is what, a yard a play?
Yeah.
A yard a down rather.
That's punting on 4th and 7 every time.
Third down conversions, they were 1 for 12. We're talking about Tennessee. And the guy told me yesterday, well, it's Alabama. Nah, I'm not giving them a pass. This is Southeastern Conference football.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Tennessee not doing well. Who's your college team?
Probably Marshall or Georgia. Being from Georgia originally and gone to school in Marshall.
Yep.
But college football is really not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Milligan Sports is his
Milligan
thing.
Sports.
Basketball girls, basketball men. What else going on right now?
Well, volleyball is finishing up. They've been playing really well lately. They've just had a 6-game winning streak snapped in 5 sets in a conference match this week. Right now, I think they're kind of similar to the women's soccer team. They're looking to finish probably around 4th in the conference. And then aside from that, we've got men's soccer's competing. They're finishing up. Men's and women's swimming has just started their season. They just had a big meet win over at King a couple of weeks ago. So a lot of different things going on.
There you go.
It's good.
It's all good. Website is?
MilliganBuffs.com.
MilliganBuffs.com. You want to bring in the lady now?
Yes, sure.
All right, let's bring her in here. We're live at Freddys in North Johnson City here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this rainy Monday. It's coming down in buckets. It's supposed to. They said it would, and we need it. Cold front's coming in. We need that too, I guess, to kill the bugs, I suppose. I don't know. Let's see. Let's bring it up, and boom, there she is now.
Oh, gosh.
There she is. This would be Beauty and the Beast, this young lady. Hello, Miss Joan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 22.
22 years old. You're an intern at Milligan College, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am. Yep, for 10-month internship.
Yep. And you're 3 or 4 months into it, right?
Yes, sir. I started August 1st.
Yep. So tell me some of your duties and some of your, what do you do?
Oh, man. So everything Daniel does, I do. We kind of tag team a lot of teams, so we have different, we're contacts for different sports. I've got women's soccer this semester. I'll have men's basketball. I've got swimming. So it's all stat stuff, all write-ups if they're on the road, if they're home. A lot of graphics, a lot of photography. I take pictures at mostly all the games, and then I'll sometimes help with the stats with Daniel. Oh my gosh, the list just goes on. And then there's a bunch of all the websites, all the social media, all of that is through us. It's fun though. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. And like you said, it's the transition right now between you got your fall sports to your winter, and I mean it's just gonna keep going and going because I think women's soccer will go pretty far. We're hoping volleyball will. So I mean it'll be an overlap for sure of seasons between that and basketball. As
a sports fan, who are some of the teams you like?
Cowboys.
Like the Cowboys.
Big Cowboy fan, yep.
Like Jason Witten?
Yes, I do. And I'm a big Zeke fan, even though he was Ohio State. But I was an Illinois fan, so.
Fighting Illini.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
So you like Illinois. Keep track with them all the time.
I like UT now. Being in Tennessee, I mean, like you said, though, it's hard liking the Vols because they're doing awful.
Yes, they are.
But so. It's a good time. I love going to Neyland, and so.
You've been to Neyland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
yep.
right. Have you ever? What's the name of the stadium in Illinois?
Oh, Memorial Stadium. Yes, I worked for Illinois football last summer, and so that's kind of what got me this internship. Just getting my feet wet in the field. And
is the Fighting Illini, I'd say, going to an Illinois game and the UT games like night and day, right?
Oh my goodness. And another thing is, I mean, the stadium size is just completely different. The fans are different. Tennessee fans are not fair weather fans, that's for sure. But yeah, Illinois games are still fun. That's home to me, and so I like that environment.
How big ballpark is Memorial Stadium?
I'm terrible with numbers.
It's not as big as Neyland.
I want to say 30,000.
Oh, yeah. Not very big at all.
No,
so
it's really not.
Could have about 3 of those inside of Neyland, so
yeah. I
got you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's not very big.
And Illinois not. They've kind of struggled in football too, haven't they?
Yes, yeah. And we got a new coach last summer, Lovey Smith, who he coached for the Buccaneers, and the whole coaching staff though is very stacked with NFL experience. They're actually like the coaching staff for Illinois is the #1 team with the most NFL experience as the coaching. So I think they should be good with the next couple of years when they get their guys in there from recruiting and stuff.
Again, we're talking to Joan Maxwell from the Milligan Sports Department. So at 22 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? If you could have the ideal dream job, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's hard. I would want to be like a sports broadcaster, like a Sam Ponder. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Broadcasting is a tough field. It's very competitive. I kind of like being behind the scenes rather than in front of the camera too. So
when you watch games, they have a lot of ladies down as halftime reporters, a lot of studio anchors. So who's a couple of ladies you think are pretty cool you look up to?
Erin Andrews. She's huge. And same for Samantha Ponder. I mean, she came from, I think it was, what was the Christian school? In Virginia. What's that
Liberty?
School? Yeah, she went to Liberty. And then she kind of just worked her way up. And Erin, of course, is just a legend in my opinion. She's awesome. I love seeing females in the field.
And you're a big fan of Daniel Monjay too, right?
Yeah, sometimes. It depends on the day. But
ooh, that's brutal. That's good stuff.
Just kidding.
That's good stuff. Now, what did you have for lunch here at Freddys?
I had the Freddys original double. It was really good. Mm-hmm. It was really good. And I had the fried pickles.
You had the fried pickles.
Those are really good. We
didn't even talk about the fried pickles while ago. You got the fried pickles, awesome. So
yep.
It's all good. I appreciate you coming by here. You getting ready to hit on this
pumpkin concrete? I am, for sure.
Yes, very good.
Definitely.
We'll look forward to seeing you out to the ball game. She does a great job. Quick break. It's Daniel Monjay and Joe Maxwell from Milligan College. We'll be right back. We'll go on the phone to Northern Virginia talking NASCAR. Mike Hedrick next on a rainy Monday in East Tennessee on show number 619 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back live. Let's go to the phone. He's there, our buddy. He would be Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. Again, we're live at Freddys. And again, he's going to join us coming up here in just a few minutes. Again, that would be the store manager, Randall Jenkins. But let's go to the phone. He's there in Northern Virginia talking NASCAR. Good evening. Good afternoon, Mike Hedrick. How are you, my friend?
Man, we're doing great up here. It's still sunny. The rain that you guys down there is coming our way. But doing great. Me and my buddy Kenny is over here. We've been cooking barbecue all weekend, so we're finishing pulling up pork. He was actually working real good, Tom, until he heard about that pumpkin pie concrete. And then he just stopped dead in his tracks. He threw his mouthpiece at me, and I lost him right then.
I'll tell you what, it is awesome. This pumpkin concrete. Are you a connoisseur? You like pumpkin pie?
Well, you know, at this time of the year, you just have to, if you're going to be with a girl, around a lady or your wife or whatever, there's going to be pumpkin involved in this season one way or another.
Got it. So, pumpkin pie here at Freddys. Going to be talking to Randall Jenkins, the store manager, coming up here in just a second. Hey, let's get in here. Let's roll. Kansas Speedway. We had a big crash yesterday. A lot of guys got taken out. And so, as we said on Friday, we squeezed 10 drivers into 6 spots. We already had Truex and Keselowski in. So, who moves on to Martinsville now for the next round of 8 of the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series?
Man, we had some great racing this week here at Kansas Speedway. It started on Saturday with the Xfinity race. They had the Kansas Lottery 300. You know, it was great racing all day. It was the first race in the Xfinity round of 8. But really the drama was on the field. On the track came between Cup driver Eric Jones and his very new Joe Gibbs Racing teammate Christopher Bell. That Jones boy was dominating the whole day. Really, he had led 185 of the 200 laps. When at 3 to go, Christopher Bell did like a dirt track move on him and did a crossover, and he came dive down up under Jones. Now that move meant that he was going to be too fast going into the curb. He checked up, slowed down right in front of Eric Jones, who only thing he could do was just plow into the back of Christopher Bell. The collision messed up Jones's tire, and so Christopher Bell went on to get the win. So that's Christopher Bell's first Xfinity win in the fifth of his very fifth start. Now, asked about it after the race, because, you know, Jones is a pretty aggressive driver. He's not going to cut you any slack. He actually he just kept the stiff upper lip and said, yeah, that's racing. So, yeah, good for him. But, you know, he went on. It wasn't event-filled, not only that day for him, but it was crazy racing there at the track yesterday for the Speedway Hollywood Casino 400. You know, and it really got going. Kyle Busch won Stage 1, Denny Hamlin. You know, the Gibbs cars were looking good, got Stage 2. Then it just got really crazy. Martin Truex had a restart violation for dipping down below the white line. That made him go to the back of the pack. Kyle Larson, another chaser, he blew up a motor. Stenhouse, he wrecked. Jimmy Johnson, he was just spinning all over the place. And then, of course, that Jones boy caused the big one at 199. Now, that wreck did some damage to Matt Kenseth's car, and then there was something crazy. Next thing I know, they had too many people over the wall, and they told him to go park that car. I don't think everybody really knew about that rule. And, you know, through all of that drama, Martin Truex Jr. was just steady marching his way back up through the field. You know what? He goes to victory lane. That's his 7th this season, number 2 at Kansas, and the 14th of his career. But like you said, that eliminated Kyle Larson with the engine problem. That eliminated Matt Kenseth when he was eliminated from the race. And McMurray and Stenhouse, they had trouble all day. So that set up the standings, how we got them right now. The playoff moves on, round of 8.
Listen to the audio of Matt Kenseth. They had him parked there on the front stretch, and he said, "Are you telling me I can't race any more day?" And his crew chief said, "Yes." He said, "You're telling me that my season's done? I can't even get to the championship because we had one extra guy go over the wall. We're only allowed 6. We had 7. So my season, the chance for a championship, was wrapped up over one guy going over the wall too many." So he said, "Yes, sir." And he just went quiet. It was just, I guess, in disbelief because Mike Hedrick, Matt Kenseth does not have a ride in 2018 right now. So, he not only loses his championship chances this year, but he's got no guarantee for next year. So, and of course, financially he's set, but from a competitive standpoint, I would think that he's not a happy camper this morning in the Joe Gibbs camp. What do you think?
And I agree, and he has the right not to be. I mean, that was under no fault of his own. You could blame 2 people. One of them was the crew member who jumped out, Mr. Number 7, the guy that jumped out there with the Sawzall. He didn't even have a helmet, an over-the-wall helmet on. So he stuck out like crazy. And then, you know what? It really all goes back to the crew chief. I mean, that's the crew chief's job to have those men so trained. They know number 7 doesn't go over the wall. They know number 7 doesn't go over the wall. And look, I don't think that maybe they realized, maybe they just thought it would be like one lap or something. But, man, when they parked him, that was stunning.
So how does that rule go? In other words, if I'm number 7 and I jump over the wall and go, whoops, and I realize I don't touch anything, I jump over the wall, jump right back, is that still bad? Because this guy went on and worked on the car, which obviously is a no-no. It's a really dumb move. But if I jump over the wall and I go, uh-oh, or the crew chief says, Tom, you're number 7, get back, then is that okay? Or once you jump over the wall, you broke that plane and you're in trouble? How's that work?
Yeah, well, number 7 can go over the wall if he is attending to the driver. So if you went and jumped over the wall and lit a cigarette or something like that, I mean, at last minute or whatever, or gave him a soda or a grip energy drink is probably what he would need right there. Then you can, but the number 7 guy can only attend to the driver, and that guy jumped over with the old DeWalt. Got to give the old DeWalt Sawzall and jumped over there. So that's clearly his fault, and it's clearly the crew chief's fault. But again, you're right, exactly right. There was, Matt Kenseth looking for a ride. You know what? And you try to, when you're trying to go to the prom, you dress nice all week long, and you're trying to, look good. And so now he's basically out of the playoffs, and really, I mean, you have to say a little bit less valuable by not getting another championship or being in that.
Exactly. His resume is not going to be updated as sparkling because he's now out. He's going to keep trying to win races, but he can't win a championship. Back to the Xfinity Series real quick. Interesting side story to that confrontation between Jones and Christopher Bell. They will be teammates next year, of course, in the Gibbs camp. Bell got announced last week as we had it here on the show. He'll run full-time in the Xfinity Series next year, so they'll get a chance to look at each other across the table in the conference room every week, and so maybe they did it today. I don't know, but that'll be interesting, the Xfinity Series moving forward. Now, you take a look here. We're talking to Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR Fans Reporter. Here is the 8. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott. So we've got, let's see, got a Furniture, our Front Row Motorsports, 2 Gibbs, a Penske, 2 Hendricks, a Stewart Haas, and a Wood Brothers left. So it's Martinsville. Then it's, let's see, you go from Martinsville, then you go to, oh gosh, where we'll go to next, and we wrap up with Phoenix. So you got the next 3, and I should know that.
I think it's Martinsville to Texas and then to Phoenix.
Yeah, Texas Motor Speedway and then to Phoenix. So, in fact, the winner of last year's race, Martinsville, was Jimmy Johnson a year ago. So, talking to Mike Hedrick, what else going on? We've got the Xfinity Series. Trucks are back on the track this week. So, we've got the Xfinity Series, the Cup Series, and the trucks rolling. So, what else you got for us in NASCAR?
Hey, a little bit of good news. Goodyear, who supplies the tires for NASCAR, and they've actually been supplying them since 1954. They've had an exclusive. They've been like the exclusive tire supplier for NASCAR since 1997. Well, their current contract ends this year here. So nobody has really known whether they were going to be there for 2018 or next season. But Stu Grant, who's the Goodyear's general manager, he says, don't worry about it. It's almost a done deal. They're just getting ready. They're just finishing up the paperwork. He says, we're actually getting ready to start making tires for the Daytona 500. So that's good to have a nice, solid company like Goodyear back with NASCAR. if you're down in the Miami Homestead area on Wednesday, hey, go check out. The teams are going to be doing some testing to get ready for that season-ending championship race right there, and it's going to be open to the public. They're going to be over there Wednesday from noon until 7, and so there's going to be one driver from each of the different the teams. So Martin Truex is going to be there, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski is going to be there, Trevor Bayne is going to be there, Kurt Busch, and Ryan Blaney. But also they're going to have Landon Castle is going to be there testing for Ford, and Alex Bowman is going to be there testing with the Chevys. And, one last sad thing, on Saturday, we had a report that one of the team members actually died at the track, which is really unusual. His name was Jim Watson. And he was a over-the-road crew member and a fabricator on the number 77, but really mainly there at Furniture Row Racing. So he had a heart attack, and so our first thing is our thoughts and prayers go out directly to his family. I know that they dedicated the race to him, but not just his family, but his racing family as well. When this kind of news hit, I'm just sitting on the couch in my home, and it made me want to tear up. It's just, you feel like, your racing community, you know people. I never met Mr. Watson, but you just feel like you know people, and it was just heartbreaking that somebody, passed away at the race and during at the track.
Absolutely, very sad time. Of course, that just reemphasizes the point. We best know where we're headed, because we're not guaranteed the next day, the next hour, for that matter. Let's see, this weekend we've got Cup Series and Truck Series in Martinsville. The Xfinity Series is off until Texas next week. Truck Series a year ago, Johnny Sauter won the Texas Roadhouse 200 in Martinsville, and so it'll be ready to go for next week and also this week. And Jimmy Johnson won the Cup race in Martinsville a year ago, so it's all set. If you had to put your money on somebody going into the round of 8, who do you like right now heading into the round of 8 in NASCAR on the Monster Energy Cup Series?
Well, I think you can go ahead, and I've been hesitant to say this all year long, that you can go ahead and just stamp Martin Truex all the way on in there, but I think you can stomp him right in there. It was really interesting watching the race yesterday as the positions would change, how either you were in the playoffs or you were out of the playoffs, and then Kyle Busch was below the cutoff line there for a good part of the race, and then the next thing you know, once he's in, he goes back up to his regular standings up in second with all of his points. So that was really interesting. And then on a final note, we talked about Christopher Bell and Eric Jones, having a meeting there maybe at Joe Gibbs Racing. Those are two very hard racing, aggressive, take no prisoners drivers. And where did they come from? They came from Kyle Busch Motorsports and Kyle Busch Racing. So I think both of those guys are, I don't think it'll be very long when Kyle's going to be looking across the table at one of these guys angry at him because they're stepped up and just made that move that you make in NASCAR.
Also, one final note, Ryan Blaney got penalized after qualifying on Friday night, got put to the back of the field, had a really good run yesterday to solidify himself into the chase, into the playoffs to move on to the round of 8. So another showing that this guy is a real deal driver. He's moving on next year, of course, but Ryan Blaney, after having a setback, failing post-race inspection after qualifying, failing post-qualifying inspection, I guess, got put to the back of the field yesterday and roared right up through and did good enough to qualify. So again, Mike Hedrick, the sign of NASCAR is in good shape. This kid's one of those up-and-comers, and he's not up-and-comers, he's here, he's in the playoff for the championship. Young man can drive a race car.
He can, and he's not doing it from a big powerhouse team either. He's doing it from the Wood Brothers. So maybe here when they're going to Martinsville, the Wood Brothers are a Virginia team. They're right here in Virginia, so maybe he'll be able to pull one out or whatever. But he's a great young driver. We know he's going to Penske next year, but for what he's doing in a single-car team that really doesn't even have a charter. When they started doing the charter things, they didn't have one at the time. So it's amazing to see what he does, and he has such a good, nice poise when they talk to him after the races. He's kind of tight-lipped. You can't tell whether he's kind of being sarcastic or he's giving a great answer. But you're exactly right. He's a fantastic driver on the track, and I can't wait to see what he does when he gets over there and has Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano as teammates there at Penske.
One more time, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott into the playoff in the round of 8. We'll check in with you on Friday for a preview of heading into what they call the Paperclip in nearby Martinsville, Virginia. Looks like the weather's going to be cool but very sunny and very pleasant this weekend in Martinsville, Virginia for the trucks on Saturday and the Cup Series on Sunday Mike Hedrick, awesome report, my friend. How about Screen Taters? And we'll join you
Screen
again.
Taters, woo-hoo! Hey, everybody, have a great day, and God bless everybody real good. Thanks a lot, Tommy.
You got it. He's the man right there. Thank you very, very much. Mike Hedrick, superb job as always. And so he'll join us again on Friday with a preview, as we said, of the racing this weekend, heading into Martinsville for the trucks and for the Cup Series. My man Randall Jenkins, the store manager, is about to join us here from Freddys, where we are broadcasting live. And so while he makes his way over here, let me tell you again about what we've got here. Again, the fundraiser. Oh, wrong camera. Fundraiser. Here it is, the fundraiser. I love this. I'm going to let him talk about this again. We didn't talk much about the custard last time. Let him get settled in, but we've got to let him talk about this because this is awesome. And then also, as he gets settled in, gets his headset on, let me tell you about the picking panel. We have Joel Ragsdale won himself $25 for going 25 for 20, or 5. I'm sorry, won $25 for going 10 for 10. See, I get over and start talking about food and just get all excited. 10 for 10 last week. Here are the picks this week. 5 high school, who do you think's going to win? South at North, which is the Civil War here locally. Happy Valley at South Green. Unicoi County at Johnson County. Chucky Doak at West Green. And you've got Morristown East at Crockett. That's the 5 this week on the high school level. All we want is to see who you think's going to win. You see right here, go right to the screen, TomTaylorSports.com/football. Win yourself $25. All we need is your first name, last name, and your email address. If you win, we can send you money. You say, well, I'm watching in West Virginia, or I'm watching out of town. Doesn't matter. We have postal service. We can send it, so it won't be a problem. Then on the college picks, Tennessee at Kentucky, Georgia, Florida, Penn State at Ohio State, Oklahoma State at West Virginia. All this is on the screen when you go there to TomTaylorSports.com/football. You also have North Carolina State at Notre Dame and Georgia Tech at Clemson. There's some great games. 5 high school, 5 college. 2 weeks ago, Raymond Tankersley won, 2 weeks in a row, won himself 25 and 25, $50. Last week, Joel Ragsdale, who works at Food City, went perfect, 5 for 5, and he's got a $25 check coming his way. So can't beat it, folks. It's all. Why would you not? As I say this all the time. Why would you not try and win $25? So there you go. I'm not Randall, but we're going to get Randall on the screen right now. Then we got Dave Angie waiting in the wings to join us. So there's our buddy. Rain peppering down. You know what I'm learning here? Rain doesn't stop people. When it rains, they come in anyway.
Rain doesn't stop custard. Not any day of the week.
Rain doesn't stop custard. I like it. And it doesn't stop customers either. So let's talk about the custard a little bit. Folks out there who have never been to Freddys, I got to tell you, and I'm going to let him tell you more, but it's just different. I don't know, and it's different in a good way. But, again, it's what keeps bringing us back. Tell us about the custard.
Well, I tell everybody it's like ice cream except 100 times better. And, you know, it's the taste that brings you back. It's fresh, it's creamy, it's you just can't beat it. And it's frozen custard here at Freddys. We run it all day long fresh, or churn it, I should say, every hour on the air throughout the day. And I don't know, it's so hard to, it's not hard to explain what at all. It's great. It's good. We have our specialties, which is a turtle, which is our most popular one. It's got hot fudge, hot caramel, pecans, topped off with whipped cream and cherry. And I've never had anyone bring one back. So
it was funny because Joan tried one a while ago, the young lady from Milligan, and she said as she went outdoors, that I'm bringing back my roommate and 2 or 3 other girls on the floor tonight to get one of these pumpkin pie concrete. So
yeah,
once you taste it, it sells itself, I'm telling you. The PBC&B, tell me about that one.
So it's got Reese cups on it and bananas, and topped with whip and cherry, and it's a mouthful to say PBC&B. So it's a mouthful by itself. And then we got the Dirt and Worms, which is real popular with the kids. It's Oreos and gummy worms on it. The Hawaiian Delight was really good. The Chocolate Brownie Delight, which is really rich, but it is really, really good. We put a brownie in it, hot fudge, and it's made with our chocolate custard. And, wow, you got to be a chocolate fan. I'm not even a chocolate fan, and I like that one.
Absolutely. So. Chocolate custard. The Hawaiian Delight has vanilla or chocolate custard, pineapple, strawberry, coconut, and macadamia nuts. And then you have the Chocolate Brownie Delight with chocolate custard, hot fudge brownie. If you're a chocolate connoisseur, you can't go wrong with that. The signature turtle, vanilla custard, hot fudge, hot caramel, and toasted pecans.
Yeah.
So, what's your top 3 most popular sellers out of those?
Those right there. See, the turtle #1, brownie delight, or the chocolate brownie delight, and then the Hawaiian. Yeah, or the I don't know, Hawaiian and PB, and B. It might be a close tie for third, but yeah, but definitely turtles out in front. So
now, here's some of the. We're talking to Randall again. Randall Jenkins, the store manager. Here's some of the toppings. Let's see. I'm going to grab 4 from each column: hot fudge, butterscotch, marshmallow, mint syrup, pineapple, cherry. Also on the right-hand side, M&Ms, Oreos, Snickers, Butterfingers, Heath toffee bars, gummy worms, and rainbow sprinkles.
Yeah.
Tell me about the toppings you can get.
Well, I mean, all those, and what's good about those is you can get them blended in, and that's what we call a concrete frozen custard, blended just a touch, just enough to where everything's mixed in. It's still thick enough where you could turn it upside down and still eat it with a spoon. We do shakes if you want it blended up a little bit more, but blending it is really popular because you kind of get a bite of all the ingredients every time you take a bite. So as far as the toppings, the popular ones, sprinkles with the kids, the gummy worms, like I said, Reese Cups. My personal favorite, if I'm not going with a turtle, would be chocolate custard and strawberries. That is it's just something else.
It does sound good.
So
we're talking to Randall Jenkins, the Freddys store manager here. We're live at Freddys in North Johnson City. There is one in Kingsport. There is one in Morristown, correct?
Morristown just opened about a month ago or 2 months ago. We got us here, Kingsport, and right over the line in Bristol, and just right over exit 5.
But the store that moves the merchandise is right here. This is one of the top stores, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I'm not going to brag, but yeah,
it is. I'm going to brag on it.
They all do good, but I like to take a little pride in Johnson City, so we do good.
So for someone who's not been in here, it's almost like a 50s. I'm not even sure how to describe it, but they play 50s music. We've got the old red chairs, the red vinyl chairs, like you would see maybe in the Happy Days or something like that.
Yeah.
Try to describe this.
Well, I mean, our motto is the taste that brings you back. Well, it brings you back a little bit. We do. We keep the music from 50s and 60s. Up tempo. The custard. That's a old timey thing that I don't know how it ever went out, if it ever did go out. The steak burgers. We talked about that earlier. That just is amazing. Cooked to order, fresh. All the time you see the red and white throughout the store.
There's the
it's
lobby.
Just an old time feel. I mean, it just makes you feel good when you walk in the door. So you can't beat it.
Playing the music, and I was in there getting set up today. I was playing Run Around Sue.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that in a long time.
The team gets tickled at me. I know all these songs. I'll sing them all. I sing them all day long.
There you go.
So, but one other thing I didn't mention is, and I don't know if we've talked about a lot, is our custard cakes. So we have our custard cakes on, or you can order them specially, whatever, and get writing on them. Happy birthday to whoever, and we can specially make them with vanilla or chocolate custard. It's got yellow cake in it, and you can do it with any toppings. So we sell those all year long, especially good for the holidays. Pick up something on the way to a party or whatnot.
It's a great idea. A custard cake from Freddys.
Yeah.
And so they serve how many? How big are they?
They'll serve 16 slices. You can get 16 slices out of them. It's a round cake. So I've done it for 2 birthday parties personally, and my family's pretty big, and we ain't ever had any problems. So.
I want to talk about this too one more time before we go.
Fundraisers.
This is the Freddys Give Back fundraiser. This is a no-brainer because 15%, and all you got to do is show up and just have your group come, right?
Well, what we do when we sign you up, we'll send you an email with a flyer on it, and you hand it out to whoever whatever business or whatever group you're with, and the more people that you get to come in, of course, it's better for us. It's better for you guys. Sure. Whoever's doing it, everybody. It's a win-win situation, and we just love to get back. I mean, it is 15%, and we do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Occasionally, we'll do one on Thursday. If it's a really big group, I've seen all 3 stores or all 4 stores compete, or not compete, but do it all at once in the whole Tri-Cities. We'll do a Tri-Cities fundraiser, which is really good. And it's just a way for us to give back to the community and, giving back. Sometimes we'll go out and do custard tastings and, give back to the schools and whatnot. So it's really good. The fundraisers I enjoy because I get to meet the people that we're trying to help, and you just can't beat it.
And you're open 7 days a week?
Yep, 7 days a week, 10:30 in the morning until 10 at night, Sunday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we're open until 11.
And if you're wondering, the pumpkin pie concrete is going to be here through January, right?
Yep, January, yeah.
Fresh and creamy frozen custard. You can get chocolate or vanilla, blended with a whole slice of rich pumpkin pie, crust and all, topped with whipped cream and sprinkled with cinnamon. And you get those again in, Get them in mini, regular, and large.
Yeah,
right?
mini, regular, and large. And again, it gets a whole slice of pumpkin pie in it, and it's just blended in with our vanilla custard, and it is definitely something that'll bring you back. Topped off with a little whipped cream and cinnamon on it. It's to die for. It's that time of year.
It'll set you free. And so here's the other side of the. Tell me about the jalapeno pepper jack steak burger.
Yeah, it's on a potato bun, pepper jack cheese, jalapenos on it, and our in-house spicy fry sauce. It's hot, but it's really, really good. It's not really blow your head off hot, but it's good. It's a good flavor. It's just the right amount of spice with the right amount of taste with it. So it's a very popular burger right now. We only have it for a few more weeks, so.
And then before we let him go, because they get back to tending the shop here, run down some of the combos. Give me your top 3 combos right now.
You can't go wrong with the Freddy Original Double, the number one. It's number one for a reason, because it's number one. It's 2 double cheese patties, cooked to order, crispy, thin edges. It's what we get the steak burger. We use lean beef and top it with whatever toppings. We suggest mustard, onion, pickle. It's really good with that, but you can get any toppings you want. Can't go wrong with the all beef hot dog. 100% all beef, Vienna. You can get that as a Chicago style, or you can just get it and make it any way that you like. And then the patty melt. The patty melt is served on Jewish rye bread with Swiss cheese and grilled onions and grilled up to perfection. It's a popular. It's probably a number two spot. So, yeah, you can't beat those 3. Can't go wrong.
Oh no, none of them go wrong. And you're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week. Come on down anytime. We'll take care of you.
You got it. And my man coming up next just got done eating. He's got mustard in the corner of his mouth. That means he's enjoyed himself. My buddy Dave Angie going to join us next. So, Randall, love coming over here, man. This is awesome.
Thank you for coming out. I enjoy the show.
What surprises me is how many folks, typically, of course you can't see outside, but it's pouring it down here, and it's supposed to all day and all night, and we got rain and this cold front coming in. It's supposed to. It's October. We've been blessed with great weather, but my point is, even in the rain, they keep coming in.
Yep.
I figured rain would scare them off, but rain brings them in, doesn't it?
It's still bringing them in, yeah.
It brings them in, but again, I would think that rainy people say, it's raining, I don't want to get out and get wet. Places pretty busy for
still going for a Monday, rainy Monday, but hey, you can't keep people away from that custard.
From good food, baby. It's the taste of what?
The taste that brings you back.
Brings you back. Quick break. Love this guy. He's a class plus. He's a Christian man. I love that too about him. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Dave Angie joins us coming up next. What happened to his Wolverines? Uh-oh. We got lots of college football. We'll tell you about the coach who called a fan out of the stands, wanted to whoop him. Said, come on down here, I'll give you a little 55-gallon of whoop butt. Uh-oh, pressure's on. Some of these coaches will tell you who did that. And how about the Tennessee Volunteers? 74 yards of offense in 46 plays. 10 yards passing for the whole game. Guy said, well, it's Alabama. Yeah. Nah, I ain't buying it. Division I Southeastern Conference football team.
Yeah.
74 yards for the whole game.
It's tough.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live at Freddys in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Yep, there we are. We're live again at Freddys in North Johnson City. Obviously, my man is with us, Dave Onge with the News and Neighbor. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay, Tom. I'm okay. Doing all right. It was a rough night Saturday. I had all the Sunday to get over it. Maybe raining out today, but I'm doing all right.
He's had a double whammy.
Yep.
He spilled coffee over the puzzle. His little one's been on him like a duck on a June bug. We finally got that settled down. There was peace in the valley, and then Saturday night, whew, the implosion. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you first of all with the puzzle. My daughter was a little upset about that. I ruined one of her puzzles, and
by spilling coffee on it.
I did. She came here and got a chocolate brownie delight though that night, and I haven't heard about the puzzle since.
Smooth.
So if you have a problem at home, that you can't solve otherwise,
come to Freddys.
Bring your significant other or your kid or whoever. Just bring them down here to Freddys and get them a concrete or a shake or a sundae or whatever, and you won't ever hear about it again. Most likely. That worked for me.
It rights the ship very quickly.
That could not, however, help Michigan's offense at all. Period. And really, honestly, what surprised me was how bad our defense played. For the first time all season, we looked really young. We lost 10 starters off last year's team. 8 of them got drafted into the NFL, and I think 9 or 10 of them are playing in the NFL. A couple of them signed free agent deals. A lot of good talent left, and by any metric, youngest team in the country, and really looked like it under, during the whiteout at Penn State. Tough environment to go into and play. And I'm going to tell you, by the end of the game, Penn State fans were chanting, "We want Bama."
Yep.
They can have them. they can have them as far as I'm concerned. We're not ready for them yet, but I will be interested to see, because Penn State this week has to turn around and play Ohio State. We're going to find out who's good and who isn't good real quick in that ball game. We've had kind of a lull here the last 2 or 3 weeks in college football where we haven't seen many marquee matchups. And this one here I think is going to go a long way to determine who's going to come out of the Big Ten and get to play in the playoffs. And I'm curious to see if Penn State, as good as they look offensively, can do anything with Alabama's defense. That'll be a fun matchup if that ever comes to pass.
Penn State eliminated, this is what the story says, see if you agree, almost all hope of Michigan winning the Big Ten East.
They're done. They're not going to win the East. What has to happen at this point, when you look at our offense, we're outside the top 100 in the nation in a lot of categories. And just whatever they're trying to do offensively has not come together. I've mentioned this before on the show. Michigan's situation where they have an offensive coordinator, but they have a passing game coordinator. They have 2 guys right now coaching the offensive line. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. What they need to do, they need to – there's some coaches I think that will be leaving after this season. They're going to bring in maybe a younger offensive coordinator, somebody that can breathe some life into this, because it's really stagnant right now. It's not – there's a lot of factors leading into it. We are playing with our backup quarterback. There's a lot of teams in the country that would struggle under those circumstances, but we didn't look all that great before we were playing with our backup. So, work needs to be done, definitely.
Too many cooks in the kitchen in Michigan. Ain't no cooks in the kitchen in Tennessee.
Ooh. I'll tell you this. I heard that press conference today, Butch Jones. That was brutal. He was talking about how in college football, if your footwork, if your feet are just a little bit off, your pad level's a little bit too high, that's the difference between success and failure. Man, you get beat 45-7. It's more than your pad level. That's a systematic failure that happened in that football game, and has happened a lot under Butch Jones's watch. And I think it's a matter of time right now. And they better get ready for Kentucky. Is all I got to say. I got a lot of respect for Kentucky's defense, and we are celebrating today. A lot of people don't realize this. It's an anniversary today. 1 month exactly since Tennessee scored their last offensive touchdown. So I'm telling you. That seems you look at that, it seems impossible to me that, and I know they have a new quarterback, but the way they've recruited, they've been top 5 recruiting classes every single season. They can't have that little talent where they can't score touchdowns. So, yeah, there's a lot that's getting ready to happen down in Knoxville.
Butch Jones's quote after the game Saturday, one of the quotes, you know what drives me crazy? We get down on the goal line and we get 1st and goal and we get penalties. I'm thinking, Butch, buddy, you have 74 total yards of offense in a Southeastern Conference football game, 10 yards passing, 64 yards rushing, and everybody says, well, it's Alabama. I don't care who it is. 74 yards. There are high school teams Friday night. In fact, I ought to go back and look. I'll do this between now and tomorrow's show. I'm going to see how many teams. I bet you there's not a team in Northeast Tennessee didn't have at least 74 yards of total offense. There's just no excuse.
It's terrible, and that's the one thing I'm happy about this week, because Michigan's offense is bad and has been bad. But man, at least we're not Tennessee. That's all I have to hang my hat on at the moment, which is sad. But that's where we're at. And I'm telling you right now, I really feel for Tennessee fans, because honestly, and I've lived here a long time, when Tennessee's playing well, there's nothing more exciting than being in this part of the country. People are fired up. You can feel the energy, during football season, and that to me is the biggest crime right now. Is being in this part of the country when Tennessee's down the way they have been for as long as they have been, because really it takes a lot of the fun out of it. It takes a lot of the energy out of the air during a very, very fun, very special time of the year. So, Tennessee, I'm sure right now they're looking for a coach. Like my advice is, don't you go fire Butch Jones until you have somebody, because you don't want that jet to be flying all over the country like it was, and then all of a sudden you're so desperate that Dooley looks good. They got to the point where the man in the orange pants there looked like he was going to be the answer. You don't ever want to get to that. What you want to do is start negotiating now, find somebody who's going to come in here and win football games and be able to recruit and be able to do it clean. Get it right this time. If you get it right, things will pick back up. And I'm really pulling for them. I hope they get it rolling.
The man in the orange pants. I can't top that. Here is the brand new top 25. Alabama, Penn State, Georgia. In fact, the top 5 stay the same. TCU, Wisconsin. Ohio State stays 6th. Clemson stays 7th. Miami stays 8th. Notre Dame jumps from 13th to 9th.
Big
Overrated?
win. That's
deserved.
I think that was an impressive win, and Their loss is a 1-point loss to a really good Georgia team. I think if Georgia wins out, you'll start seeing Notre Dame get more consideration as long as they can take care of their business.
So Notre Dame in at number 9 this week. Oklahoma rounds out the top 10. They dropped one to number 10. Then comes Oklahoma State, Washington, Virginia Tech. The Hokies blow out North Carolina. We kind of expected that. They move up 1. They move up to number 13. North Carolina State will be at Notre Dame this week. Great ball game. They're 14th. Washington State 15th. Michigan State 16th. South Florida 17th. Central Florida 18th. Auburn 19th. Rounding out the top 20 is Stanford. Then comes Southern Cal, West Virginia, LSU, Memphis, and a new one. The Cyclones of Iowa State cracked the top 25. And way down here, how about it? My Thundering Herd gets 1 vote.
You guys, top 25. That's awesome.
Yeah, we are Marshall. So
that's great.
Yep.
Good season up there. Is it still Doc Holliday running the show up there?
Yeah,
that's great.
He's coming to Tennessee next year. Hey, he can't do any
don't
worse.
Start those rumors.
But I have heard this weekend on the Hot Wire that Dana Holgerson from West Virginia would be one they'd be looking at. So
wow,
you got to know John Curry's burning that phone up right now.
Man, I'll tell you. Now that's an interesting one right there. Now what they would have to do at Tennessee, and this is going to be really difficult. The problem if you're Tennessee right now is you're spending about $10 million to $12 million to buy out everybody. That's the number I've seen. They might be able to negotiate that down a little bit. But, yeah, they're going to be spending some hefty money. If you bring in a guy like Dana, and I've always respected him offensively, but it's the same deal as when Rich Rodriguez went to Michigan years ago. They brought him in. He's an offensive genius, but they didn't give him a big enough budget to hire good assistants. So the defense was terrible. You know, I remember one game we won over Illinois in overtime. It was 68-64 or something. And I'll tell you, that'll have you pulling your hair out. The thing with Holgerson, he could come in there and be very successful offensively. He'd be a great hire. But you have to have the money, and they have to commit to hire a big-name defensive coordinator or to keep the one they got, you know, because I think they have a pretty decent defensive coordinator down there. So, but, yeah, interesting. And I'm hearing a lot of names. There's a lot of stuff. You know, Scott Frost, if he doesn't go to Nebraska, he'd be my guy. You know, I thought they did a tremendous job against Navy this weekend. Really good football team they have going down there.
Here's the big amount of this week. By the way, ride with us. We were 70%. You know that?
We were, yeah.
7 for 10.
We lost Science Hill. Man, I couldn't believe that Science Hill game.
We took Tennessee High instead of Cherokee. And did we take Florida State or Louisville?
No, we took Louisville. We were smart on that one. There's one other we missed, but I'll tell you.
Michigan.
No, we didn't take Michigan. I knew better than that. I was optimistic going into that game, but I bit my tongue though, and I knew better. I said, "Man, there's no way I could face Tom next week if I picked Michigan as bad as they're playing over Penn State." So, the Science Hill game's the one that really surprised me. Science Hill, Jefferson County. Jefferson County was winless in that league going into last Friday's game.
We took Southern Cal.
Okay, Southern Cal is the other one. So. Yeah, that surprised me because Jefferson County took their wide receiver, moved him to quarterback. He runs for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Science Hill had no film on that, no idea it was coming, and he hit him with it, and I give him a lot of credit. That was it's not often you get surprised in high school football, but that was really a shocker right there.
We took Southern Cal, we took Kentucky, and we took Tennessee High. So we went 7 for 10.
Yeah.
So
that's still
pretty good batting average.
Pretty good, better than most of my algebra tests back in high school. So
we took we're getting ready to do the picking panel. Tell you who's out there right now for this week too. But Science Hill, jumping into high school football for a second, they have an off week to sit and
they had an off week.
Nurse those bruises, nurse those wounds. They've actually had 2 off weeks. He scored 31 unanswered points at Jefferson County. Now Dobbins-Minute goes down with a chance to win the championship. So go figure how crazy the Big East Conference has been this year. But DB will go to Jeff County to play them Friday night, final game of the regular season, with a chance to win the conference championship. And at one point, they were just hoping they'd even get into the playoffs. So Graham Clark's done a phenomenal job turning this football program around to DB.
Yeah, definitely so. And, it's going to be interesting. I think Dobbins-Minute this year, just given playoff seeding, and we talked about how important that was to get a home playoff game in the first round. Now, Science Hill's virtually assured of having to go on the road, and that's a tough way to make a living once you get to the playoffs. And there's a legitimate chance of DB playing football longer than Science Hill this year, and it's been years since that's been the case. You know, they've a few times have gone out on the same weekend, but it's been a while. So DB's put themselves in good position, and I've always been a big believer in Graham Clark. He can look at tape and he can find weaknesses that other people don't see, and he can take his players and put them in position to exploit those weaknesses, which at the high school level, I can't tell you how impressive that is, because it's tough to take kids. Normally what you have to do is just try to keep hitting them with the same game plan week in and week out offensively and hope that you're executing it late in the season. He can kind of change it up and say, well, this week we're going to line up, we're going to be full house in the backfield, and we're going to run it between the tackles. Next week they spread it out, and they're able to do that, so it's good coaching.
Elizabeth, when we were there Friday night and saw them have a record-setting night, the most yards, passing yards in the history of the school by Carter Everett, and the most catches by a single receiver in the history of the school by Ryan Wetzel. They secure home field advantage against Solomon South Friday night, putting 52 on the board, and they'll be at Solomon Central Friday nights. The Cyclones are at home next week in the opening round of the playoffs, and we'll talk more about that with Dave coming up on our regular visit on Thursday. Here's the picking panel, by the way, for this week. Again, Joel Ragsdale from Kingsport went 10 for 10. Got them all right last week. So he gets $25 and a little bonus I'm going to send him because he got them all right, 10 for 10.
Did he get Jefferson County?
He did.
Oh, my goodness. I need to talk to Joel.
Vegas wants Joel. So yeah, he even got Jefferson County.
Oh, man.
Picked them. As it was not out on a limb. But here's the games this week. High school 5 picks, of course. You've got South and North, the Civil War in Bloomingdale. Happy Valley at South Green. Unicoi County at Johnson County. Chucky Doak at West Green, and Morristown East at Crockett are the 5 big ones. Again, the final game of the regular season. A lot at stake on these games this week in the particular regions. The college picks, some dandies: Tennessee at Kentucky, Georgia, Florida, neutral site in Jacksonville, Penn State at Ohio State, North Carolina State goes to South Bend and takes on the Fighting Irish, so those are 2 ranked teams. And then Georgia Tech will be at Clemson, so 5 pretty good college games this week, too.
I'm looking at the college games, and I see some real trap games there. You know, I'm telling you,
I do too.
You look at Georgia, Florida. I think Georgia flying as high as they are, and Florida being a pretty good defensive team.
Yep.
Yeah, that one could be dangerous, especially when you look at neutral site. I think NC State at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's up to play against USC last week, and they got to turn around this week and play a really dangerous NC State team that's played with everybody. The other one I find interesting, Penn State at Ohio State. Now, obviously, Penn State's not going to overlook Ohio State, but man, that's an emotional win Saturday night. They have the white out there at home, and man, they put their heart and soul into that football game because they played as well as I've seen a Penn State football team play. Man, it's been 30 years since I've seen Penn State play as well as they did Saturday. Now they got to turn around and do it again on the road at Ohio State, which is a much different environment. And, man, I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be a good football game.
Already problems at Florida State. It got magnified this weekend. I don't know if you saw the story, but our boy Jimbo Fisher, Florida State losing as he's going off the field. Fans are frustrated. Of course, they're now 2-4. They haven't had this kind of a year since 1976. Fans are frustrated. Players are frustrated. Jimbo Fisher's frustrated. So as he's going off the field, the fans and stands are chanting, new coaches, new coaches. Jimbo Fisher in response says, bring your beep down here and say that. Whoa.
Yeah.
So here's a picture of Jimbo looking up in the stands and going off the field at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. And so I don't know who the guy is in the suit. I guess it's security or somebody saying, Coach, going on in the locker room. So he later apologized, said I shouldn't have got caught up in the heat of the moment.
That's the guy whose job it is to keep Jimbo from fighting people in the stands. I don't know what his title is, but that was his job. That was his job Saturday.
So Jimbo's feeling it as he's going off the field. Bring your boop down here and all, and say that. So.
Yeah, but it's a deal, you know. I mean, if you're going to lose, maybe you lost the game, but you still have a chance to win the fight, you know. So
there you go. If you win something, you'll feel good going home.
Man, I feel, and I'm telling you, Florida State, another team that just shocks me, and I know they lost their quarterback. A lot of talent there, a ton of talent, you know, and it just shocks me they're not doing better than they are.
There's one of our great sponsors. There is Tim Smith from American Import and Auto Repair, one of our great sponsors, along with a guy from, I can't see his shirt, I ain't got my glasses on. Oh, Meineke.
Meineke, yeah.
Cool. You gonna have a little lunch? Good. Come to the right place. That's my buddy Tim Smith from American Import and Auto Repair, home of the free loaner car program, one of our great sponsors. I feel like a NASCAR driver. Jump out and I go, yeah, my Tim Smith American Import and Auto Repair Toyota.
Yeah.
So at my Freddys Pumpkin Pie Custard Toyota.
Oh.
Tough break for Shea Patterson. Ole Miss's quarterback guy was leading the SEC in passing.
Yep.
Again, gone for the year. Had a knee injury, and they lost to the Rebels, losing to LSU on Saturday night, 40-24. So a bad season, getting worse down at Ole Miss with Hugh Freeze and all that. So now their sophomore quarterback, Shea Patterson, gone for the rest of the season.
Terrible. Just very little to remember about this season for Ole Miss. It's just been a train wreck from the offseason up till now. And how about LSU, though? I mean, all of a sudden, you look at LSU, and they're a legitimate football team. 1 minute they're losing to Troy. People are talking about how much it's going to cost to buy out their coaching staff. Next thing you know, they're going to a bowl. I don't know what kind of bowl yet, but they still have a lot in front of them in terms of stuff to play for. If they keep winning football games, I mean, they have their fate in their hands. So, we'll see what happens.
Let's look at the SEC schedule this week. Then we'll get into the top 25 before I let him go. Then we got to talk World Series tomorrow night. Dallas Keuchel and Clayton Kershaw. What a matchup, game one of the World Series. Tickets again off the market or off the radar. We're talking $3,300 a ticket. It's $1,000 just to walk up and buy one at Dodger Stadium. But off the what would you say? It's not the black market.
They call it the secondary market now.
Thank you. The secondary market. $3,300 tickets.
That's the nice way to say people are scalping tickets.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I knew black market didn't sound right, but the secondary market. Mr. Angie is right on that. So, Alabama's off this week. Auburn is off this week. LSU has an open date. You have Arkansas going to Ole Miss. There's a guy that's in trouble. We don't hear much about him with everything going on with Butch Jones, but I think Brett Bielema's in trouble.
Yeah, he's about done. It's about the end of the line for old Brett, and I hate it. He's a nice guy. He looks like a football coach.
He does.
Then they get out there in the field, and it seems like he's not a football coach. But
no.
I don't know what he'll do next.
The Razorbacks are struggling, and I don't think Brett will be back next year to try and get them turned around. Of course, Tennessee goes to Kentucky. We told you about that. Mississippi State will go to Texas A&M. Of course, they hammered. We picked Kentucky in the picking battle. They made them look like a bunch of boys on Saturday. They really put the whooping on them. Did Mississippi State. They will go to Texas A&M. Missouri has UConn, a non-conference game. South Carolina plays Vanderbilt and Columbia. And so that's your SEC schedule for this week. Saturday's game, Tennessee defensive end Jonathan Kongbo, 2 personal foul penalties. Then you had our boy, is it Golden, is how you say his last name? Yeah, the guy that did the double bird to the Alabama crowd. So So problems continue out in Tennessee. I've had that to talk about, but we've pretty well taken care of the Tennessee scenario. So.
I can't throw any rocks
no.
at that guy from Tennessee today because we had a guy at Michigan that may have told Penn State fans they were number 1 too. So
there you go.
Yeah, he released a statement. He was sorry, got caught up in it. Hopefully it's a learning experience for both of those young men going forward.
How would it feel if you are on the team walking off the field and you hear the whole crowd chanting, "We want Bama"? Which is what they heard on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Did they get down your crawl a little bit?
If I got beat that bad, I'd say good luck with them. Better you than us, because it would. And I hope, what I hope from that is, from the standpoint of a Michigan fan, I hope it keeps them going. They're improving. It's just really, it's hard to see, at the moment. And such a young team, they're getting better every week. Sometimes that doesn't show up on the scoreboard. This past week, I think they did some good things offensively. With the running game, but when you're down 14-0 from the get-go, that's almost invisible to people watching the game at home. So I think they're improving, and hopefully that kind of gives them the fire to kind of keep going. Got a chance to win 8 or 9 games. When you do that, you go to a decent bowl and keep the momentum going a little bit.
Here's your top 25 this week. Before I let him go, then we're going to talk about the World Series, and he's got a scoot. 20th ranked Stanford goes to Oregon State on Thursday. 24th ranked Memphis will host Tulane on Friday night. On Saturday, the early games, 5th ranked Wisconsin at Illinois, 8th ranked Miami at North Carolina. Here's a good one. 11th ranked Oklahoma State, 6-1 in Morgantown to battle West Virginia. 22nd ranked Mountaineers at 5-2. 12 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. That one we'll talk more about later on this week. That's going to be a dandy.
Yeah, definitely so.
Penn State at Ohio State, number 2 versus number 6. Number 3, Georgia takes on Florida in Jacksonville. These are 3:30 games on Saturday. Number 4, TCU at number 25, Iowa State. That's going to be a good one.
Watch out for that one.
That's a trap. You got it. 14th ranked North Carolina State, 6-1. At 9th ranked Notre Dame, 6-1. 3:30 kickoff in South Bend. That'll be a good one. Here could be a trap game. UCLA 4-3 at Washington. 12th ranked Huskies at 6-1. 16th ranked Michigan State at Northwestern. Trap game.
It could be,
Yeah.
in North, but I think Michigan State's playing well enough now to where they'll get by Northwestern.
Houston will be at number 17, South Florida. You've got Austin Peay, I believe, is going to be at number 18, Central Florida. Duke will be at Virginia Tech. Hokies put the hammer on North Carolina. That's a night game at Lane Stadium Friday night or Saturday night. Hokies at 13th in the country. Duke at 4-4. Hokies 6-1. Georgia Tech 4-2 at Clemson 6-1 on Saturday evening on ABC. That could be a good one.
Yeah, it could be a good ball game, but you want to know what really drives me nuts as a sports fan. If you look at that 3:30 bracket, you see Penn State at Ohio State, 3:30. Georgia at Florida, 3:30. TCU at Iowa State, another great football game, 3:30. NC State Notre Dame, 3:30. So how are you going to watch all those? That I wish they would find a way to space this out. And I know they're all on different networks and they're all in different conferences and all that, but when we have weeks where that happens, that just drives me crazy because really I don't see, that's going to be a good game. It could be Clemson and Georgia Tech could be a good ball game, and Oklahoma game could be a good game too, but none of them really have the implications that those games all at 3:30 have. So I wish they could spread it out a little bit for us.
Texas Tech 4-3 will be at Oklahoma on Saturday night at 6-1 for the Boomer Sooner. Also, you got two more. Washington State 7-1 at Arizona 5-2. Washington State, the Cougars 15th in the country, and Southern Cal's going to try and bounce back and play at Arizona. Trojans, number 21 in the country, will be at Arizona State 4-3, and that's your top 25 college football games. We'll talk more about those coming up, of course, on Thursday. When Dave's back with us, we'll be live at Champion Chevrolet. So, World Series, Game 1 tomorrow night. Dallas Keuchel, Houston. Clayton Kershaw, the Los Angeles Dodgers. That should be a heck of a series.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I think what makes it exciting, both teams are so good offensively. Both teams pitch so well. I remember hearing this is the first time that two teams with over 100 wins have met in the World Series. Mm-hmm. It's the first time in about 40 years. I know it was the Orioles. I think it was the Orioles and the Reds last time. Yeah, last time two teams with records as good as this. I think Dodgers had 104 wins and the Astros had 101. So, yeah, they, maybe the best World Series matchup. Gosh, I can't think back to another one that is anticipated as this one, just based on how good both teams are.
And so that's coming up again starting tomorrow night. 1-2 at Dodger Stadium, 3, 4, and 5 in Houston, and 6 and 7 if need be back at Dodger Stadium. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow on Tuesday's show. Mr. Angie, always a pleasure. What'd you have to eat, by the way?
I had myself one of those Chicago hot dogs there. One of those Freddys Chicago style. That's good stuff, man. I'll tell you. It's just wonderful food here.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I was so glad when you asked me to come here today. I almost couldn't hide my glee as I texted back. I was excited. So
I asked him the other day, I said, you want to come be on the show Monday on Monday's show? And where going to be? I said, Fred. Everything got Freddys out.
That was it.
Fred, I'm in. I said, there you go.
I said, I want that in writing. You put me down on the schedule.
Does a great job. The co-host of our show on Thursday night, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show, had an uptick in viewership this week. So that's
I
good.
saw that, yes.
Yeah, had a big uptick. And so the picking panel, we need to call Joel Ragsdale and get him on the show. I'm going to try and do that.
Yeah.
I went 10 for 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I need to find out what my buddy Joel was, what he saw in Jeff County. That's the one game, and he got a lot of them right that impressed me. But, man, what did he see there? What did he know? Does he know somebody down there? We need to find that out.
There you go. I'm going to try and work on getting him on the show. We'll see you on Thursday, right?
Sounds good, man. Looking forward to it.
There you go. We appreciate my man again, Dave Angie, being with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. That's going to do it. Before we get out of here, let's run down at the final week of high school football. Let's do that for you again. So we appreciate him coming by, of course. And so let's run down the final week of high school football. Thursday night, Farragut's going to be at Hardin Valley. On Friday night, Bearden and Morristown West, Chucky Doak at West Green, Copper Basin at Cloudland, Cosby at Hampton, Daniel Boone will be at Cherokee, Dobbins Minute goes to Jeff County, Elizabethton plays at Sullivan Central Friday night, Greenville will be at Sullivan East, Happy Valley at South Green, Morristown Eastern Crockett in Jonesboro. Huge game for those two teams as far as playoffs go. North Green at Claiborne, Sullivan South at Sullivan North, they call it the Civil War, Sunbright at Unaka, Union County at Granger. Volunteer back in action will be Adcock County, Unicoi County up on the mountain of Johnson County. Science Hill and Tennessee High have the final week of the regular season off on Friday. In Southwest Virginia, Holston at Eastside, J.I. Burton and Rye Cove, John Battle at Lehigh, Pike Central at Ridgeview, Twin Springs, the Fighting Titans will be at Thomas Walker, Union at Abington, Y Central in Gate City to battle the Blue Devils, and Castlewood has the week off. Again, Coach Kirkland, appreciate, again, all that they do in Southwest Virginia. Do want to say thanks to Coach Strickland stopping by today. Again, Franklin and Science will play at 5 o'clock Wednesday for the opening round of the TSSAA Soccer State Soccer Tournament in Murfreesboro. In AA, it'll be Greenville, the defending state champions, playing Covington at 8 o'clock on Wednesday in the AA. And then, of course, we got to give props out to the Chucky Doke Lady Black Knights. They're in the state soccer tournament in Single A playing McKenzie. That'll be at 3 o'clock on Wednesday. So Franklin, Science Hill, AAA at 5 o'clock, AA, Greenville, Covington at 8 o'clock, and Single A, Chucky Doke and McKenzie at 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Winners move on, losers go home. So we appreciate them very much. And again, we've had a good show. We always want to say thanks to our guest. First off, Randall Jenkins, the store manager here at Freddys. Thank you, my friend. Also, Coach David Strickland, the Science Hill girls soccer coach, heading off to the state tournament. Also, Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. We also had Dave Angie with us just now, and also Joan Maxwell and Daniel Monge from Milligan College. So, had a full slate. Appreciate that very much on this, our 619th show. We will rejoin you tomorrow. Again, we'll be live at Bracken Paving, Bracken Asphalt Maintenance. Again, we'll be there tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll be at Movement Mortgage, right down the road, right across from the Cracker Barrel in Boones Creek. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet, and Friday it's Midnight Madness sale will be at Food City on Eastman Road. So we'll just keep on keeping on. Next Monday we're taking Monday off, and we're going to enjoy a down day on Monday, a little R&R, and back for the full slate next week as we move into, hard to believe, move into November of 2017. Again, the countdown to Christmas at 62 days from today. I know this sounds crazy, but tonight I got a night off. We will go Christmas shopping for the little people tonight. And tomorrow, we're going to be taping the Sean Whitten Coaches Show. We'll be ready to go tomorrow night. Record-breaking night on Friday night against a very good Solomon South football team. Ran into a buzzsaw called the Elizabethton Cyclones. We'll be there, again, taping the show tomorrow morning with Coach Whitten with all the highlights of that 52 points they put on the scoreboard, 52-27 victory over Solomon South on Friday night. And so we'll have that ready to go for you to watch tomorrow evening. And so we're looking forward to doing that tomorrow morning, taping it, and then we'll move on to Bracken Paving. So we're doing a double whammy tomorrow. Sean Whitten show in the morning, and then a little bit later on from 11 to 1, as always, we will be at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance, again in Blunt, Vegas, for tomorrow. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, we dedicate this show to the man who hung on the cross. Again, the verse of the day out of the book of Romans, Romans 8:27 and 28 says, "Love me, and I will see to it that all things work together for your good. For I know the mind of my spirit. I am constantly interceding for you according to my will." And we appreciate that very much. So for Randall Jenkins, the store manager, and all my guests, this is Tom Taylor telling you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. And thanks for giving us a listen. And we appreciate it very much being with us on show number 619 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll see you tomorrow from Bracken Paving. Until then, so long, everybody.